Caution, if you are using two units together like this for a very long extension cord, you want to make sure that they are sliding both in the same direction. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulties getting it off and on, okay? Just bear that in mind. Okay, so I've taken off the older support unit, which was very, very strong. I wish I'd had a similar one. Here it is right here. It was very, very strong. These hopefully will hold up and do the job as well. I'm going to stick them up underneath. I don't know if you can see it here. Here's the edge of the desk, and I'm going to put that in an invisible spot behind here and mount these pieces just as they are up under here. Okay, so in a rather boneheaded move, I had applied it on the back of this, these warning strips that they give you on all electronic appliances and so on. So it got stuck there, and I had to move it because it wasn't straight. And of course it was damaged, but given the price of these things, it's easy to just toss it off and replace it with another one. So I'm going to replace that, and then we'll have 3 units equibalanced between them. Okay, so I'm going to attach that now, just making sure that they all go in the same direction. The problem was that when I put the middle one on, I wasn't paying attention and it wasn't in the right direction. So now they're all going to the right. If you want to slide those babies off, you can see they are all going this way to the right. And I want to make sure that this one also goes to the right, not to the left, but to the right. So it'll have to be put on this way in order for them to be the same. Okay? Just bear that in mind when you install these. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now, I think that the most logical thing here would be to unplug everything before installing it, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But it's going to be a bit of a nightmare since I use this. This also came from TEMU the other day, and it was really a handy little thing. It puts all the wires together. It seals them for all the way up, as you can see, into the distance. So I'm going to unplug everything here, and then we'll install the unit, and then I'll plug everything back in. We'll have a final look at it once it's done. Okay, so from looking from down below, from underneath, I've installed the unit up underneath the desk. As you can see here, it's kind of difficult to actually see. If I can pull a light over here so you can have a better look. There we go. You can see I've attached it right against the desk. It seems to be holding pretty firm. The stickers are pretty firm, and so if I need to remove this, as you can see, that one's already slid out a bit. I just slide it over, and that's it. Okay, so they're all pretty much slid into place. Okay, these are the wires. As you can see, they're all clumped together. It'll make it easier to install them, actually, and it'll make this underneath the desk much easier to clean up in the long run. So, very useful product. The only thing that really bothers me is that if you look underneath, I don't know if you can see this, there you go, it's not really perfectly seated. This one here, that one right there, it's not seated, and I don't like doing a ham job, but hey, nobody's going to get under the desk and take a look, are they? Okay, so great idea, but poor execution. This is what happens when you use cheap and inferior materials. So the dang thing came falling down. I'm going to now use double-sided sticky tape. Oftentimes when you get a TEMU product, it's very, very weak. The double-sided sticky tape is next to useless. So I would recommend you keeping a good roll of heavy-duty double-sided sticky tape in order to pick up where they left off. Okay, so we're back and we're working on, I've got my assistant with me, my lamp holder. He's helping me out here, right?
Yep.
My big assistant.
With the lamp.
Okay, so we're putting, come closer, Alex. Okay, so we're back at it, and I've got my assistant, my torch holder with me, right, Alex?
Yep.
And we're reinstalling the electrical plugs, if you recall, session. And here I've put double-sided sticky tape all along here. I purchased this one from Action in Belgium, a small shop that carries this type of thing. So Very good. I could have probably fit 2 in there, but I didn't. It says it holds 10 kilos. I certainly don't have 10 kilos worth of pressure on there. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the backing off of this, and then we're going to remount it under the mounts. Put the light so I can see up here, Alex. On these sliding units that came from TEMU, unfortunately, which had that worthless sticky tape on the back of them that did not properly hold, or did not hold correctly. Okay, so we've got the plugs installed properly, and it seems to be holding. We'll give you an update if anything changes, but hopefully that should do the job. Right, Alex? Cover your mouth, Cough. Thank you. Got a bit of a cold, huh? No. Okay, so I've got my assistant here, and he's a good assistant. Okay, so the end of the TEMU appliance support report. Our review. TEMU gets a 0 out of 10, unfortunately. It was a great idea, but it was one of those great ideas that just do not work. Finally, as it kept falling down because there was a separation with those sliding units, I had to just use the sticky tape and apply it flat, and now it's holding. Yeah, my expert is here with me giving the latest update. Okay, so was it a good product or a bad product?
Good and bad.
Good and bad? Okay. I think it was a bad product, folks. So I would only recommend it in the case of very light things such as picture frames and so on. And then you want to be careful if it has glass in it. That's going to add to the weight. So an honest, straightforward review. TEMU, you've got to do a better job. The sticky tape didn't hold in the first place. We tried it with double-sided sticky tape, and that didn't hold either because it created spaces, even though I used 3 of these. Now, if I had put them end to end and used maybe 5 or 6 of them, it might have worked. Okay, thanks. Thanks for having listened, and look forward to new reviews. Okay, so plan B didn't work. Plan C didn't work. Now we come to plan D. And what I did was I used some heavy steel wool, and I scrubbed the back of this extension cord in order to get a smooth surface, because the double-sided sticky tape was adhering to the previous adhesive that had been applied from TEMU. So that wasn't working. In order to get a nice smooth finish, I had to scrub it down with steel wool and then, go over it with paper tissue in order to give it a nice, dry, clean surface to adhere to. Now, what we'll do is we'll reapply this sticky tape, the double-sided sticky tape, and I'll use the thicker part on top, and I have a small, thinner one that I'll use underneath. Okay, so after much huffing and puffing, I've got the sticky tape. I actually had to use 2 3mm strips, so it's 6mm across. I used 2 of the thicker strips together. And you want to make sure that you get it to adhere as much as possible. And because it's such a long segment, it's very difficult to get it nice and smooth and even. So start on one end and go slowly, and make sure that you get the 2 tips when you're stretching something long, right up against the edge, and then the rest should match up. But it's very difficult to actually get the right measurement. And as you'll notice here, there's a little rise, a little lip on here, and that's probably keeping it from sitting flush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some double-sided sticky tape on each end where it rises up there. That seems to be the major problem, and this will just serve as a reserve. I was hoping that the thickness of this would, and it does appear to come up almost to the lip, but not quite enough. So there's probably some little tiny space in there that causes it to have a bit of weakness. Okay, and so there's the final product. We did finally manage to get the dang thing up. Really was a struggle, a lot of huffing and puffing. So in the end, we never even used the TEMU items, which are above here. I don't know if you can see that, but they're just serving as a guide. And that's very solid. So my bad from the outset. I would recommend, if you have a long extension cord and you want it to be located under your desk or under an appliance, that you use this heavy duty double-sided sticky tape. 6 millimeters is what you're going to need. So you're going to need 2 rolls of 3 millimeter because you don't usually get 6 millimeter wide. Okay? Thanks for watching.
Yeah,